Go.
This photo that's being presented may not seem important to society right now, but I hope at the end of the speech that it does become important. Imagine taking a stroll in the park. You walk and out of nowhere you stumble and you fall upon a rock. You fall to the ground and you notice that you have broken a bone. How would you react, or what would you do when you see the x-rays regarding your broken bone? Today I want to talk to you about radiology and how it's being evolved. The history of radiology became the most metamorphic and essential around the 1870s and the 1900s. According to an article published in 2018 on southwestxray.com, the history of radiology was discovered in the 19th century, and it was where a number of scientists found the existence of the various types of radiography and learning their behaviors and applications. Hi, I am Brooke Smith, and as someone that is pursuing a career in this profession, I would like to discuss what radiology is and how it's important to you. The four basic and important facts that you need to know about radiology is its history, its purpose, the basic elements of the x-ray, and why it's important to our society. Today I want to talk to you about radiology and how it's extremely crucial to our society. Let's discuss some basic information regarding the history of radiology. The history of radiology was invented as soon as the history of x-rays was invented. And according to an article published in 2018 in Patient Care of Radiography, German scientist William Conrad Röntgen discovered x-rays when he was playing with different obstacles in his laboratory. He was playing with a Crookes tube in his laboratory and was playing with various objects to discover it. X-rays were invented by accident when he was playing with these random objects. He used a tube enclosed with black photographic paper so that light could not travel out of it, and used a plate that was across the room that was coated with barium platinum, which is fluorescent material crystals, which began to grow. He noticed that the duration and the distance of the plate from the tube depended on how bright or dull the x-ray would become. Because the discovery of the x-rays didn't require no further research, he began to figure out what else to do with x-rays. And according to an article posted on apps.org, and on November 8, 1895, he produced the first anatomical radiograph of his wife's hand. Röntgen was awarded the first Nobel Prize in 1901 in physics. Now that you know the basic history of radiology, let's discuss its purpose, what it's used for, and what is it exactly. According to an article published on radaid.org, the definition of radiology is a specialty of medicine that is used to interpret the body organs to figure out the diagnosis of the organs. The purpose of radiology is used to help doctors and other healthcare professionals to detect and find epidemics and diagnose treatments and to be more precise on their findings. It can be used, analyzed, and it can detect infections, injuries, and fractured bones. Now that you know its purpose, what it's used for, and what it is exactly, let's turn to the most important part, which is the basic elements of x-ray or radiology. Every component, whether it's small or large, is very essential to it. And it includes the four basic elements, which is a vacuum, a source of electrons, a target for the electrons, and a voltage between the electron source and the target. A vacuum, which is referred to the glass envelope, is the x-ray tube itself. The source of electron is the heated filament, which is the cathode end, which is also negatively charged, and it becomes heated when it allows the electric current to flow, which heats the filament. Then your target for the electron occurs when the electrons are traveling from the filament to the opposite end of the target, which is positively charged, which comes in for the voltage, which allows the electron source itself and the target. And this right here, it is the way how you generate an X-ray or produce an X-ray itself. The more on the cathode end and the anode end, since they are opposite ends in science, the more attracted they are to each other, the higher and powerful the X-ray production can become, and this is converted into a small amount of kinetic energy. Now that we have discussed the basic elements of radiology, let's discuss how it's important to society. Radiology itself is important, and it has evolved over centuries since the 1900s. X-rays is not only the only thing that evolved radiology. The other important factors also include CT, MRI, fluoroscopy, angiography. These are extremely crucial because not always a simple X-ray can detect and figure out a proper diagnosis and treatment itself. It is also necessary and important to society because as far as X-rays itself is involved in society, it allows doctors and healthcare professions to rely on them to find the proper treatment and diagnosis for a patient. Today I have discussed the history of radiology, its purpose, what it's used for, how it is used, its basic elements of radiology, and how an X-ray can be produced. The four basic elements, which are vacuum, the source of electrons, the target of electrons, and the voltage, and also how it's very important in society. Remember when I asked you what would you do and how would you react to your X-ray whenever you fell in the park over that rock and you broke a bone? Always remember that a simple X-ray, complex X-ray, may be the final solution in detecting for treatments, and also to help with infections, injuries, and other fractured bones. Thank you.